11 Alive News at 5 p.m. starts now.
First at 5, a Georgia State trooper is now out of surgery and in the ICU after a shooting this morning near a controversial plot of land. That shooting also ending with a person dead. Good evening. I'm Jennifer Bellamy.
And I'm Faith Jesse. So here's a look at what we know right now. This shooting happened this morning in DeKalb County on Constitution Road near Moreland Avenue. That's near the area known as Cop City, where the Atlanta Police Foundation intends to build the training facility.
We have team coverage tonight. Our Karis Belger is digging into the ongoing issues at Cop City. But let's begin with Tracy Amick Pier, live at the GBI's headquarters. And Tracy, you just got an update on the trooper and the investigation.
That's right. We just got an update from state officials, and that's where we learned that the state trooper who was shot in the abdomen this morning is out of surgery and in the ICU. Now, that shooting happened at around 9 o'clock this morning in southeast Atlanta near the property designated as the new Atlanta Police Training Facility, or so-called Cop City, while GSP, DNR, DeKalb County, and Atlanta Police conducted what they call a planned clearing operation. Now, GBI says they were removing individuals who they say were illegally on the property. GBI tells us they were asking the protesters to leave and letting them go if they complied.
As law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper. Other law enforcement personnel returned fire in self-defense and evacuated the trooper to a safe area. The individual who fired upon law enforcement and shot the trooper was killed in the exchange of gunfire.
Now, we still don't know the name of the state trooper who was shot or the suspect who was shot and killed, and the GBI says this is still a very active investigation. But on social media accounts linked to the protesters, there are now calls for violence against police. Now, I read some of those posts to the GBI director. His response at 6.
All right, Tracy, we'll see you then. Thank you so much. Today's shooting is the latest incident between protesters and law enforcement at the site of the planned police training facility. It's had issues that we have been following since early last year. Our Karis Belger spoke with people who live nearby about the impact clashes between protesters and police are having on them.
Well, to talk about impact, I mean, it's still a very active scene just over my shoulder behind me. Multiple officers and, of course, patrol cars. People have been stopping, asking questions, trying to see where they can go because roads have been blocked off. And we heard from neighbors earlier who say this morning's shooting is the last straw, and they're hoping that now officers will be able to get the protesters out. Multiple streets in this southeast Atlanta neighborhood were blocked off Wednesday as investigators combed the woods after a state trooper was shot.
As we were beginning the operation this morning, just shortly after commencement of the operation, in one of the areas there, subject fired upon law enforcement.
The GBI confirming the incident was tied to the development of a new Atlanta Police Training Center, which some have nicknamed Cop City. The state trooper who was shot was patrolling the area, something that's become common in recent months.
You know, it hasn't done enough.
Mark Bolden is the president of a nearby homeowners association. He says neighbors have been concerned about potential property damage since the protesters have become more active.
So after the arrests that happened last month, that's when everything starts to, ratchet up. But unfortunately, we knew this would happen if they didn't clear the woods out.
Multiple people were arrested just last month in connection with protests over the development. And even more people were arrested over the summer. Police say members of the group threw Molotov cocktails at police. But after today, Bolden hopes authorities will be able to clear them out.
These are things that have been happening nonstop.
And the protesters do plan to hold a vigil tonight for one of the people who was killed in this incident. And also police said this afternoon that they intend to release details tomorrow about how they're going to clear the area.
All right, Karis, thank you. You can stay with 11 Alive for the very latest updates on this developing story. Look for any new details as they come in by heading over to our website, 11alive.com.